The sages play an important role in Ocarina of Time in sealing Ganondorf. However, there's one particular sage I have always had a small problem with. In this video, I want to talk about the one sage in Ocarina of Time who didn't work for me, Nabooru. While every other sage is memorable or even likable, I find Nabooru to be somewhat bland, slightly boring, and simply just uninspiring. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I don't like her as a character, because I still think that she is nice and a good person. But I don't have as much of a connection with Nabooru than with all the other sages in Ocarina of Time. I have more of an emotional connection with Ceres, Guli, Osfala, and definitively Irene in A Link Between Worlds. Heck, I have more of an emotional connection with the Deku Princess, Damani, Mikau, and Skull Kid from Majora's Mask than with Nabooru. Let's go over the sages one by one and analyze what makes them special, while Nabooru for me isn't. Saria. She is Link's childhood friend. She's one of the first people you meet in the game, and she remains relevant for the whole game, throughout the entire story. The scene with Link leaving Kokiri Forest and him saying goodbye to Saria is one of the most emotional moments in the game, a very bittersweet one, and it comes very early. Her teaching Link Saria's song at her favorite spot is another favorite moment of mine in the game, and again, a very important one for Link and Saria as characters. Her getting captured by Ganondorf and imprisoned in the Forest Temple is really sad. This, and Kokiri Forest, Link's old home, being overrun by monsters really adds an emotional as well as personal weight for Link to the whole story. Saria is easily the most important sage, after Zelda perhaps. Zelda. Zelda, being the Princess of Hyrule, automatically already makes her somewhat important, as well as the whole series being named after her. We meet her early in the game, in the Garden of Hyrule Castle, see her in one of the most tense and emotional moments in the game, and she afterwards, indirectly or directly, accompanies us throughout the rest of the game. At the end, she sends Link back in time, causing the timeline split, one of the most important events in Hyrule's entire history. She's such an important character to the entire plot and game. Darunia. He's the most important character after Link leaves Hyrule Castle for Kakariko Village and Death Mountain. We once again see him early in the game, hear his worries and struggles, and help him with his problems by clearing Dodongo's cavern. Afterwards, both Link and him become sworn brothers, which at least has symbolic meaning, maybe even an emotional one. Him dancing to Saria's song gives him a nice little touch and personality. After Link becomes an adult, we see the Goron we previously helped become a sage. Seeing and talking him in front of Volvagia's chamber, witnessing as his people are in trouble, really adds gravity to the whole situation. In short, we travel a journey together with Darunia. Ruto. Annoying as she can be in Jabu Jabu's belly, she still accompanies us through half of the dungeon. Her having a crush on Link is a funny moment, and him not getting what this whole marriage thing is, and just wanting the Zora Sapphire is funny as well. Meeting her again later in the adult's timeline is very nice, even if Link doesn't feel this way. Her entertained remark in the Chamber of Sages also adds to her personality. Just like with Darunia, we meet Ruto as a child and basically watch her become a sage. Impa. Again, we meet Impa early with Link as a child, before our adventure even has really begun. She sends Link off on a mission, and before that teaches him an important song, Zelda's Lullaby. After this, we briefly see her again while she protects and flees with Zelda from Ganondorf. This is one of the most tense moments in the game, so a memorable moment indeed. When we free her as a sage from the Shadow Temple, we've had some moments with her, making Impa a memorable character. Her being concerned to Princess Zelda also ties her to the story and makes her a more fleshed out character. Also, as a Sheikah, Impa has an air of mystery surrounding her, which makes her even more interesting. Rauru. After Nabooru, probably the most uninspiring sage. But at least we have a long conversation with him, where he sends Link on his quest to conquer the 5 dungeons. So he still plays a somewhat important role, mentally preparing Link for his missions as an adult. Also, him being able to transform into an owl already makes him a more interesting character, even if Kaepora Gaebora is slightly annoying. Regardless, it makes Rauru an important character already in the child era, accompanying Link on his adventure to gather the 3 spiritual stones. Nabooru. Well, why doesn't she work for me when every other sage, even Rauru, works for me? To put it simply, we meet her way too late in the story. By the time we meet her in the Spirit Temple, the game is in its final stretch. We don't interact with her as a child. By this, I mean in the first third of the game, like we would with almost any other sage. This already makes Nabooru way less memorable than all the other sages. Also, her opposition to and rebellion against Ganondorf is never really explored, besides the out-of-universe reason of, well, we need a sage for the Spirit Temple. When we fight her as an adult, the dungeon of the Spirit Temple is almost over. The sexual and flirtatious jokes she makes towards Link, while memorable, don't automatically make her an interesting character on its own. All in all, Nabooru is both underdeveloped as a character and as a sage, and that's why I don't care about her nearly as much as I do about most of the other sages. These are the most important reasons why every sage is more interesting than Nabooru. I hope I made my point clear, and you had fun listening to a thought I had for many, many years. Goodbye.